Greetings everyone, my name is Greg. In this video I am going to be talking about IMVU and their terms of service, what they consider general audience, access pass, which is the access pass is supposed to be only for those that are over 18, and then what they term unsuitable for IMVU. Now, all of this came about, and I'll get back to the general stuff and access pass in a bit. All of this came about because I had made this bed. This has been banned by IMVU. And I am doing this video to show you what they had banned. Now, there are no poses on this bed. The dots that you see are not connected to the bed. And I can prove that by just taking the bed, they're standing nodes in the creating feature for a product. I'll move that away from the standing nodes. There are nothing, literally nothing on this bed. That if somebody would want to have poses or whatnot on this bed, they would have to purchase them separately and add them to the bed. And you can see to the right, unsuitable for IMVU. Now I challenge anyone, and I would love to be able to talk to somebody directly from IMVU about this. I had gotten that this was unsuitable for IMVU. I challenge anyone in the unsuitable for IMVU, show me where it says rebel flags. Show me where it says anything about a flag. It's not there. Anyone that would want to try and say that is a hate product, they are projecting their own bias onto that picture. That has nothing to, it doesn't say hate. It doesn't say prejudice. It is simply a rebel flag. There is a simple solution. If you do not like rebel flags, don't buy the bed. If you do not like something, do not buy the product. It's that simple. This is not going to magically appear in your inventory unless a friend of yours gives it to you. And then you can easily hide something if you don't like it and it was given to you. You can easily hide it. I can even go so far as to pop up my inventory and show you where it says hide. Right there. All you have to do if you don't like something, and let me find something I don't particularly care about or particularly like, because it's easy to hide it. Very easy to go through and just be, you know what? I don't particularly, well, something I don't use anymore. There, boom, hidden. And it will show you, you can manage your hidden items, and that will pull up that it can show you everything, web inventory, and it will show you everything that you have that you can either hide or unhide. It's very simple. There is nothing that would be in your inventory that you have to have. So, and like I have the banner at the top, I'm not advocating anything be banned. Because I feel if you start banning things, you're taking away freedom. You're taking away personal choice. Because I have major issues with their list at the side. The number one I can understand, the copyrighted trademark material, okay, fine. Legally they have to have that. However, cruelty to animals. Okay, what about cruelty to people? Technically, people are animals. We are all animals. So why not just have cruelty? Why do you have to specify? Is cruelty to children okay on IMVU? I would tend to think that IMVU representatives would be quick to say, no, cruelty to people or cruelty to children is not acceptable. Then why isn't it listed? Why isn't it just cruelty is not permitted? The thing is, I'm not advocating anything be banned because I feel it's a personal choice. And if somebody wishes to be cruel, there's a simple thing of an X at the top of the screen. You can X out of any room at any time. There is nothing saying you have to be around somebody. Then there are discriminatory products, which some might say that is a discriminatory product. I contend it's not. It's not discriminating against anybody. In fact, there can be, and I'm sure there are, some black people that have lived in the South that have a fondness themselves for the rebel flag because they don't associate it with hate. It was never about, maybe for some that were in the Klan or whatnot, they may have termed it or looked at it as such. But I grew up in the 70s, where Dukes of Hazzard was a regular television show. The General Lee was that was basically the trademark car. And this flag is what was on there. It doesn't say prejudice, bigotry, any of that. And where I have a bit of an issue is IMVU will use the term, and they have in here, malicious content. That is a very broad term because you will see the definition of malicious. Characterized by malice, intending or intended to do harm. Now, a product like, let me just go back to this, there is no way that you could say that is malicious because it's not intended to harm anyone. It is a fucking flag. It is a flag on a bed. That's it. And if anyone is interested to know what the other aspects of it look like, it's very basic. The base part of it is black. The sheet type of thing has the rebel flag. It has a red and blue pillow. Yeah, sure, I could have made the bottom part white and stuck with the whole red, white, and blue theme. But I went with black because black is a color I particularly like black. There's no race involved. That didn't even enter my mind. I had considered, did I want to make this? Because frankly, it doesn't go with anything in my collection of products that I've made. However, I made it because I realized, sure, I might not be interested in it, but there's lots of things that I have made, and I will take you guys on a bit of a tour of my room. I've laid out a few things because I had made this bed around the same time I made the other one. It's different completely. It's the same type style and so forth. It also has no poses. But as you see on the wall behind it, there are two crosses. I am an atheist and an anti-theist. Now, there are some Christians that may not like the cross with the screaming skulls. So what? Others may like it. Same with the dragon aspect around the cross. I'm very big on dragons and so forth. I like dragons. I like skulls. That is a common theme that is in a lot of the products that I make. The thing is, because to show you others, there is a chair that I had changed because I had a few that were identical and one hadn't sold, so I figured I'd change the look of it. Maybe it would sell. But I had also found a GIF of a picture of the flipping off of the skull, and I simply removed the background and put a picture in there of a cushion that basically looks like the skull is coming out of the chair, and you see the cushion behind that would be behind on a chair and so forth. It was just a creative way that I felt to use that image. And a person can sit on that chair if they particularly like that chair. That's the only pose on those chairs. They are very general. I term them my neutral zone chairs because when you first meet somebody, it's not a good idea to try and be sexual with somebody that you just met. I mean, there's a bit of tact and just being a civilized human being. You don't go up to someone you don't know on the street and start grabbing their boobs or grabbing their crotch. Well, maybe if you're Donald Trump, but that's a bit beside the point. The thing is, this was the issue with IMVU. They said it was unsuitable. I contend with their unsuitable for IMVU, their claim is bullshit. I will also draw to your attention on the side, you notice suicide is unsuitable for IMVU and wagering. Now, I'm not doing this to get anyone in trouble or to get anything banned. Like I said, I'm not into banning things. But this is a bit of hypocrisy where IMVU is not even going by its own rules. Because as you see, roulette wheel, roulette table, they are termed access pass. Well, this one is not even, that's the general. It's a general audience, and let's see if I can, this will pull up and I will try and figure out a way to show you this that I'm sorry about I just have to do this because they insist on having the stuff at the side. But this is called general audience. Now, I'm not opposed to, and it doesn't have any type of anything involved with chips or whatnot, but you do have an animated person on a chair for whatever reason, whatever that would. But no matter how you slice it, you could far easier say that this is wagering. Wagering. I mean, there's no two ways about it. But to go back to, and like I said, I'm not trying to get anything banned. That's not my intent. Because if you don't like something, don't buy it. That's my attitude. The thing is, one that is termed access pass. And I want to show you this because it firmly proves my point. And that's all I'm trying to do is prove a point. That IMVU doesn't care fuck all about their so-called rules. It is very arbitrary. Because with this one, you can literally, I had seen one where you could literally have chips and be pushing chips in. The thing is, it doesn't matter if you have that you can be pushing chips in or not. If you are trying to say no wagering, and that wagering itself is against IMVU's policy, then damn it, you have to be consistent in that. But another that I can go back to, because it wasn't just the wagering that had gotten under my skin type of thing. And it wasn't even, to use the term, it wasn't even that irked me. It was the aspect of suicide. And even more to the racism aspect, a noose. Lynching is a practice that was done by people in the Klan with someone that was black. It can also denote suicide far easier than you can try to make a case of that bed that has no goddamn poses on it. There's nothing but a flag on it. To try and say that it is a hate product, that it is anything, is a much bigger stretch than to say a noose. There are all kinds of nooses. All kinds. Enjoy it, noose. Nooses. A noose symbolizes a hanging. A hanging is either murder or suicide, which I would in term it could easily fall under intense violence. Suicide, like the Chris Benoit thing, killed him. There's a bunch of people that have committed suicide by hanging themselves. The thing is, it's not a stretch. It's not hard to make the case. Whereas it is a major stretch. You have to do a lot more shenanigans of bending over backwards to try and say that a rebel flag is any of those. Now, let's bring back in their general audience and so forth. Because the truth of the matter is, IMVU targets their product to children. They want children on the site. Even though it is a 3D chat site that is very sexual in nature, the thing is, to want to have things to a general audience, there are problems with this that personally I have with their general audience criteria, like the aspect of marijuana and tobacco and alcohol, text and visual references. Why the fuck would you have those as a general when in society smoking and alcohol are all 18 and above? Across the board. There are many states where marijuana is not even legal. Granted, IMVU is out of California and they have legalized marijuana. I'm not opposed to marijuana being legalized. However, I do not feel that should be marketed to children. There is also the fact they use the term of romantic content to kids in a general sense. I question their ethics. I question their morals in that regard. I personally feel that children should not be permitted, period. Remove a lot of the problems by just saying this is a site for 18 and over. Because the truth of the matter is, from a business perspective, the ones that are going to be spending money are not kids. The ones that are going to be spending money are adults. Let's be fucking clear. But the aspect of their access pass, I don't really have a problem with any of that. I mean, I personally feel it should be a lot more extensive on the access pass, that it should cover a lot more. Because a lot of it would come down to personal choice. But what really gets under my skin is this unsuitable for IMVU stuff. Because it is so vague and it is so easily made out to being what's not there. Like the aspect, and I will just, for the sake of this, keep up the bed that they banned. They literally told me this is unsuitable for IMVU. And I contend it does not fit any of these. But to try and act like this aspect of strong sexual content, including depictions of arousal or aroused genitals. What the fuck is wrong with these people? If you're having something that is access pass for adults only, what's wrong with an erect dick? I mean, if you don't want to have it looking like you're talking about a child having sex, the aspect of a hard penis, seriously, what is their fucking hang up? It really makes me wonder if the owners of IMVU have penis envy. Because the aspect of an aroused genitals, so the fuck what? I mean, seriously, what is the big fucking deal? Why make a big federal case out of a hard dick or a 3D representation of sex? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with IMVU? It's almost as if I don't know if they're a bunch of Christians that want to try and act like sex is a horrible thing. The thing is, I am an atheist. And I had said to them, if you're going to just start arbitrarily banning things because somebody gets offended, if you take that to its logical conclusion, you will have no products on your website, no products in your 3D chat program, because everything can offend somebody somewhere for some reason. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something as harmless as fluffy ducks. There could be some that have the attitude, whatever attitude, that they are offended by fluffy ducks. Just because somebody is offended by something doesn't mean you should ban it. Because then you're taking away the rights, you're taking away the freedom of everyone else. Just because you had somebody say, I don't like that. What the fuck are you, IMVU? A bunch of fucking children? I don't like that, so that has to be banned. If you start banning things just because some don't like it, some want to try and project their issues onto other things and be acting like this is a hate product or this is whatever. You don't list that in your unsuitable for IMVU, and by doing this, you are showing discriminatory practices. So is discrimination permitted if you are IMVU? Do you not follow your own rules? Is that the message you're trying to send to everyone? Are you really trying to be showing the world, this is how you kill a company? Because that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to alienate your base to the point where people will walk away and be, you know what, this is more trouble than it's worth. I will go to another company like Red Light or Second Life or others that offer the same type of three-dimensional chat program without the sexual hang-ups, without the stupid Christian ideas. And that's what I think this comes down to, is stupid Christians trying to project their stupid ideas on others. You do not have that right, IMVU, because that is bigotry, that is discrimination. If you are not going to go by your own rules, how can you expect anyone else to go by your rules? You have to be the first to show that you are going to live up to your own standard. I recognize Christians are hypocrites. But if this is the type of thing that IMVU is advocating, I think people need to be aware of it. I think you people, whoever is behind IMVU, need to take a serious look at what you're doing. Not look to ban products because somebody's, I'm offended. So fucking what? The aspect of people being offended, this snowflake bullshit. I don't give two shits about fucking snowflakes. I don't give two shits about if something offends someone or not. Because truthfully, the aspect of going back to like cruelty to animals, I definitely don't like anything that depicts cruelty to animals. But if somebody's going to engage in that in a three-dimensional chat program, I would sooner know who they are and be able to basically mark that type of person and be, that's someone that I don't want to be around. That's someone that maybe the authorities should look at, because if they're doing that in a three-dimensional program, then chances are they're doing or acting out on things like that in the real fucking world, and that is one of the signs of somebody that could potentially turn into a serial killer. There are warning flags that something like a virtual program could be red flags for, that could be used by law enforcement and so forth to being, you know what, this is an indication of somebody that is a potential problem, and look at them a bit closer. But like I said, I'm not advocating anything be banned, because that limits freedom. That limits choice. If you don't like something, don't buy it. Don't participate in rooms where it is. You have the freedom to say, I don't want to be here. People do not have to bend over backwards to kiss your fucking ass. If you don't like something, make the choice to leave that environment. It's just like in real life. Life does not change to fit your likes and so forth. It shouldn't be that way in a three-dimensional chat program. Because, like, personally, I don't really give two fucking shits. I don't like country music. I don't like rap. But I also don't go in public rooms where they are going to be played. Or if I would happen to, for some odd fucking reason, be in a public room and I would hear rap or country or some music I wouldn't fucking like gospel or Jesus music, I would leave. I'm out of here. Bye. If I even say anything. I would make the choice myself to be, I don't want to be around that. I don't need to say it shouldn't be an option for anybody. That is fucking childish. And I'm really fucking fed up with these social justice warrior crybaby assholes that want to try and be, I don't like something, so it shouldn't exist. That's not the way life works. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.